Hey there everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Extra Zero. Thanks for tuning in, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different, something I think is going to be a lot of fun. And as you can see, I'm down here in my nerd cave, which is what I call my main collection display area. And I'm here because I'm going to be pulling down and showcasing what I think are the best Transformers figures released in 2024. Now, 2024 was a huge, massive year for Transformers as a franchise. We had the 40th anniversary celebration. We had the first animated movie to hit the big screen since the 1986 movie, so nearly 40 years for that. And we got a ton, and I mean a ton, of awesome new figure releases. Now, on the official side, we had Legacy, we had Studio Series, we had the crossovers, we had Missing Link on Takara side, MPG, Masterpiece, some of the more premium figures, and third party was really firing on all cylinders. So I'm going to be telling you what I think are the best official and the best third-party figures.
Shut up and take my money!
So my only real criteria for these is they need to be figures that were released in 2024 and figures that I personally own. Other than that, I'm not really going to be breaking these up by size class. I'm going to be including Chug, Masterpiece, and in-between figures on my official side, and third-party, while mostly Masterpiece scale, some of it kind of falls into Chug territory, especially when you get into MMC. But no spoilers on that.
Well, we're waiting.
So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get into this list. And keep in mind, this is just my personal list. Whether you agree, disagree, let me know. Discourse is a lot of fun, and I want to know what your favorite figures are of 2024. So let me know down in the comments. And if you're new here, hopefully today's the day I earn your subscription. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. And whether you're new or a returning subscriber, hit that like button because it helps me out in the algorithm. So without further ado, let's get into it and let's go over what I think was the best of the best of 24. All right, let's kick things off with the best official figures of 2024, starting off with my honorable mentions slash the bottom 5 of my top 10 list. And you're probably looking at this lineup and thinking a couple things. First and foremost, wait, these are all Optimus figures. And yeah, you're not mistaken. You know, 2024 was a great year for Transformers as a franchise as a whole, great year for the toy line, but really us Optimus fans and collectors were eating good. Optimus got a ton of love and got a lot of really great figures in 2024. I mean, we also have to mention other ones that aren't in this lineup, like the Reactivate Optimus, which it's a shame that the game is not going to come out because I would love to know how this guy was in the lore. A great figure. I guess the only things I hold him back from being in that upper echelon or the awkward and stumpy Energon axe with the weird black wash and this kind of nylon-y gray plastic, but nonetheless a really, really good figure. I recommend getting your hands on this guy while the 2-packs are still around. The Soundwave that he comes with is also really good. We got an updated animated Optimus. So Legacy United Voyager animated Optimus Prime. This is a really nice update to that classic fan favorite character. I guess the only things that really deter him from greatness are some waffles and the lack of the mouth guard and an awkward vehicle mode. The way that the feet transform in vehicle mode just is a little odd and awkward. And I had a hard time excluding this guy from the top 10, but he got edged out just a bit by the Missing Link, and that's the Legacy United G1 Universe Optimus Prime. This is a phenomenal figure. It's really fun. If you can't afford or justify the Missing Link, don't sleep on him. He's awesome. I mean, it's not often we get rubber tires on a regular deluxe. He does have a little bit of waffling, but in some ways he's actually better than the Missing Link. His head articulation's better. He has a better waist. I think the transformation's a little bit more fun. I think the only things that really hold him back is the way that the hands transform. It doesn't feel the best. Every time I do it, it feels like this is going to snap, even though I think it's nylon and it won't. But he's so much fun to flip back and forward. And he also has better foot articulation, oddly. His feet are on swivels, so really well done figure. Let's get on to these guys here. And let's start off with my number 10. This is the Missing Link Optimus Prime. And yeah, this guy just has such a presence. Missing Link is really, in many ways, a dream come true. Taking classic G1 figures, updating their articulation, but preserving everything that made the G1s unique. All the die cast is here. They have some extra features. In the case of Prime, they gave him a matrix chamber, which you can remove, and you can still have access to those Diaclone seats. Modern articulation, ratchets, heavy ratchets for a small size figure. I like this so much that I actually bought it twice. I got the anime version and the toy version. I keep the toy version in the box because there's just something awesome about that classic style box, especially with styrofoam inserts. They didn't fill out the back. That's, I guess, one thing too where I will give points to the Legacy one, is they went ahead and filled out the back. But this is accurate to the old G1 toy, and then this thing just has such a presence. Only downsides to it is I think some of the tolerances on the swivel joints, like this chrome thigh, you can hear it squeaking a little bit. The ab crunch is really tight. It does not feel the best to move that ab crunch. The Legacy one definitely has way better tolerances, but this guy still does feel sturdy, and he commands a presence, and you really can't go wrong with whichever one you get. Moving into that number 9 spot is the Fractured Friendship 2-pack IDW Optimus Prime, and this is a heavy retool of the Gamer Edition Prime, another great figure to come out in 2024. Now, they retooled the chest, they retooled part of the vehicle mode, they actually went ahead and redid these bottom leg portions to make him taller and to fill in the back of the truck mode. They retooled the gun, they gave him arm cannons. The only thing I wish they had done is filled out these waffles. If they could have done something there, maybe also got rid of the gimmick where you can take the arm off, since that's not necessary for this version of the character. Oh, they also retooled the upper biceps too. But a really, really awesome figure. The only thing holding this back is the fact that it was part of a 2-pack. It was an SDCC exclusive, though I think it's still available in a lot of places at retail cost. And the other figure in the 2-pack, the Gladiator Megatron, just really isn't that great. But this is worth it. This is a great figure, and it's a shame it didn't get an individual mass retail release. Moving into the number 8 spot is the Lunar Cruiser Optimus Prime, and this is a Takara Tomy premium piece. It's not a masterpiece figure, though it comes in like masterpiece-like packaging. And this is based off of the Toyota JAXA Lunar Rover, a real-world vehicle. And I guess they just made this for the Japanese market to commemorate that. So he has a really unique alt mode. I don't know of too many Lunar Cruisers that we've ever gotten in Transformers, save for I guess some of the mini-cons, and I think there might have been one for Dark of the Moon, like one of the preview figures. But this is a really well done and very unique looking Prime with this primarily white color scheme. He's kind of a chugster piece where he has some kind of masterpiece aesthetics, opening and closing hands. He's really got great articulation. There's one of my complaints, that this kibble on the back of the legs is kind of a hindrance. It doesn't have an ab crunch, but I love that they designed the hip skirts where I love that design where the hip skirts kind of go into the pelvis. And I mean, you can kind of in some ways fake an ab crunch, though an ab crunch would have been preferred. It's got a little bit of a backpack. I think that the downsides of this figure, one, the way that they did the mushroom pegs, you got some waffles in here, which again, it's chugster piece. It'd be nice not to have waffles, especially on a premium figure where they could charge whatever they wanted. The mushroom pegs don't have the best tolerances. I could fix this with a little kiki, but I shouldn't have to. It would have been nice if all this was ratcheted. Not too much of the accessories. He has this satellite disc plate. He has this kind of tube on his arm that's not really an ion cannon. It would have been nice if he came with an ion cannon, like a proper weapon. And he's got this solar panel that can be arranged as like a shield for his forearm or arm. Transformation's a lot of fun. As I mentioned, the kibble on the back of the legs, I wish that did a little bit more, like it actually secured in, had its own like dedicated locking mechanism. But still a really fun figure, a neat transformation. I like the attention to detail. I wish this chest opened up so you could actually see the matrix that they sculpted and painted in there. But otherwise, a really cool figure that I've had a lot of fun with. Moving up to the stay. Now he's choosing not to balance. All right, moving up the line. Let me move my camera up a little bit so we're not cutting anybody off here. This is the Brave Commander Optimus Prime. This is probably the closest we're going to get to that like traditional leader class toy. Maybe the closest we'll get to like a masterpiece stand-in for Transformers 1. But the Brave Commander Optimus is a fantastic figure. I wish it came out domestically. This figure just has all of the fun of a classic leader class figure. It's got the gimmicks. This is really meant more for vehicle mode, but he's got these spring-loaded flip-out shoulder cannons that become the cannons in the truck mode. The smokestacks are articulated, so if you wanted to recreate him using these as flamethrowers, you can. He has a really nice opening matrix chamber here with a movie accurate matrix, and the face flipping gimmick is also really cool. So if you wanted to remove the faceplate, you can just lift the head up and flip the face around. So he's got the gimmicks, the transformation's easy and a lot of fun, and he is so close to being perfect, save for a few things. First, again, like with these premium figures, I don't know why they're doing exposed ball joints. I have an issue on mine where if I rotate the arm, these pop off super easily. I mean, they pop right back on, but I wish they just had another piece of plastic to secure that in and adjusted the tolerances. He does have opening and closing hands. He can actually hold the matrix proper, but as a result, they could have made this post on the Energon axe a bit longer because he does not hold it the best. And also, too, he's got some tolerance issues. The arms just, I get that why they did this, why they had to do that, but they could have put in like a soft ratchet or something, adjusted the tolerances in a way that these shoulders could actually hold the weight. And when I first got him, this wasn't an issue, but as I've messed with him, this backpack just does not like to secure in the best. Still a very fun figure with a lot of presence. It's nice to have a larger Transformers 1 figure, and I've had a lot of fun messing with this guy, even if he doesn't hold together the best in every situation. And lastly, my number 6, this would be the the Studio Series 86 Commander Class Optimus. What can I say about this figure that hasn't been said? This is like the perfect chug Optimus Prime. Yes, he's got a little bit of a backpack. I think another little gripe is that the post on his rifle, like the Reactivate one, is a little on the short side. But and I guess probably too, these hip skirts, they're toleranced a little tight. I wish that he just had the same thing where they were sculpted into the upper thigh, like the Lunar Cruiser one is. But man, this guy commands so much presence. I think sculpt-wise, he might be one of the best Optimus Primes, one of the best official Primes all around. They gave him a nicely detailed matrix chamber. I wish maybe this was painted inside, but not really a deal breaker. This is a really, really well done Optimus, and it pains me not to give him my number 5 spot, but you'll see why I couldn't in just a second. Coming in at my number 5 spot is MPG09 Super Genrai / MP60 regular Genrai, and I actually got these on New Year's Eve. It was a surprise delivery from Amazon Japan from DHL. I originally wasn't supposed to get these until the 11th of January, but they came in and they kicked Studio Series 86 Optimus from my number 5 spot. Now, these are a little bit of controversial figures. I know some fans are not happy with the size of the core Genrai. However, you go back and look at Master Force, he is supposed to be Carbot sized. He is not. Optimus Prime. Genrai and Optimus Prime are 2 separate entities, and he does scale with the Fans Hobby, Headmaster Juniors, and Double Evil. So, as well as the official Star Saber. So if you've got an issue with scale, well, there are other figures in scale, and Beast Wars doesn't scale. I still think that every quality of being a masterpiece is here, and regardless of whether you view this as a masterpiece or not, I think it's undeniable that these are both fantastic figures. Now, there are a couple issues with the core bot. The tabs on the smokestacks have been breaking for some people. There is a solution where some people have just clipped them down halfway, so they still keep the legs in place, but they won't snap. I haven't had any issues with mine. I wish that these were die cast. They shouldn't have been plastic. They should have been die cast, especially being pinned on. But I haven't had any issues. If you follow the instructions, you're not going to have to worry about breaking them. I've transformed them several times and haven't had any issues. What I love about these figures is the posability, the presence, and the fun factor. As far as Masterpiece figures are concerned, typically they're not the most fun to flip back and forth. However, these are relatively simple from an engineering perspective, that you can get them into poses pretty much effortlessly. They're well balanced despite having a lot of back heft. I mean, this entire back of the cab is die cast, like completely die cast. And I love them. I mean, when I was a kid, I had the G1 Power Master Optimus Prime, so to have something, like a high-end version with a Toon aesthetic is just a dream come true. I highly recommend both of these figures. Really recommend MPG 09 over just getting MP60, but if you're a fanatic or Masterpiece completionist like myself, I recommend getting both. Really can't say enough good about these. I just wish those few issues were ironed out. Otherwise, it would have been higher up on the list. Next up in the number 4 spot is a very unexpected one. This is the Transformers crossover Agent Knight. So this was a crossover collaboration between Transformers and the Knight Rider TV show, where they had Kit, the sentient robotic car, and now he transforms into a robot named Agent Knight. This is a really awesome and well done figure. It's got a really easy and smooth transformation. While somewhat generic, this robot mode has a lot of character with the angled doors. I love the fact that you can angle these however you want. He has a lot of aesthetics like one of the G1 Datsuns, which is cool. Some people don't like it, but I kind of like the blue accents on the crotch and legs. Yeah, it's kind of like blue jeans, but it works. For whatever reason, it works for me. I love the watch accessory they gave him. The fact that you can, open and close the headlights here. They actually gave him lights and sounds. And you can actually even hold this button. Let's go see. If you just want the light to be on, that's so cool. We don't get electronics on Transformers much anymore. He's got all of the articulation you'd want, save for an ab crunch. The only waffles on him are on the back. You don't really see them. I wish they had closed that in, but I think that, for everything he does and the size of him, he can fit in with Masterpiece if you really wanted him to. He's about the same size as one of the Datsuns. He's just very versatile and well done. And I absolutely love this figure, and I've had a lot of fun flipping him back and forth between his car mode and his bot mode, and it's really hard to say which one I want to keep him in. Also, you gotta love this packaging. You absolutely have to love how they do this throwback packaging. It's a shame you don't really see these in stores, but just, man, if I were in the 80s and saw this, how could you not love it? But yeah, Agent Knight takes the number 4 spot. And coming in the number 3 spot for official is something I thought would never be on one of these lists. It is a G.I. Joe crossover collaboration. Yes, this is the Cup G.I. Joe crossover figure that has Leatherneck, Sergeant Slaughter, and Cup transforms into the classic vehicle, the Triple T, which was Sergeant Slaughter's signature vehicle. And man, oh man, did they fix so many, if not every single one of the issues that fans had with the G.I. Joe crossovers. This is made out of superb plastic. This is like the plastic that they were using in the Universe days. I love the fact they got a USA Tampo on here. I love the fact that they got the Triple T looking authentic. I love the fact that you get a Sergeant Slaughter and Leatherneck, and they just look so damn good. I love the fact they can be on Kup in his bot mode, and they can both ride on him in vehicle mode, and the Triple T just looks so amazing. And on top of that, the transformation's actually really fun. It's involved in all of the right ways. This is just so much fun, and it's everything that the G.I. Joe crossover series should have been. Only gripes with this guy is there's a couple clearance issues in transforming him. It's nothing too terribly bad. I also wish that he came with, like, more proper guns. It's cool that the Triple T guns become his handguns, but I kind of wish that these little bases, like, could separate and they could make more convincing guns. But man, is this a really good Kup figure. This might be the best official Kup figure that we've ever gotten in any line. And just the fact that it turns into the Triple T is even cooler. So yeah, highly recommend this one. I know a lot of people just kind of avoided it because of the bad reputation the G.I. Joe crossovers have had, but do yourself a favor and pick this guy up. Even if you're not a big G.I. Joe fan, it's just an awesome figure, and it has so many of those great vibes that the Human Alliance figures had, except it's G.I. Joe, it's 3 3/4 inch Joes, and it's two of the most fun Joe characters with one of the most fun Transformers characters, and you're going to have a good time if you get this one. So don't sleep on it. Highly recommended. Coming in my number 2 spot is MPM 15 Brawl. Brawl is the last of the big Decepticons to be released in the MPM movie line, and yeah, they certainly saved one of the best for last. I think all we need now is a rusty Camaro Bumblebee and a proper Frenzy, if they can do it, and we'll have a complete cast of robots from that movie. And they certainly saved one of the best for last. This guy's level of detail and paint is just second to none, especially for the MPM line. They really did a good job. I read that the designers actually went and color matched the bare paint that they picked out to paint the actual Abrams tank in the movie in. This guy just has such a presence on the shelf. He's big, he's beefy, he's imposing. He came with a bunch of really cool blast effect accessories. You can even take the left arm off. You can pop it off of its joint and replace it with a flaming stump. They gave him an articulated jaw, articulated fingers. He's big and bulky, but all the articulation you need is there. Now, he does kind of get in the way of himself just because of the bulk. However, that is pretty accurate to the movie. He was a big lumbering Hulk in that. I absolutely love the level of detail. The transformation's absolutely fun. Even though he looks complex and complicated, he's really not. All the panels just kind of, there's really only like one thing you can do, and you can start to figure out the transformation on your own. Only gripes, he's got some, aside from the fact that his bulk kind of gets in the way, maybe some extending joints would have fixed some of those issues. A little bit of waffling on these cannons here. It's not the worst, but for an MPM with hey, we'll charge whatever we want budget, I don't think there should ever be waffles. But other than that, he's just a really great addition to the movie cast and a really standout figure on that shelf. So that's my number 2. And coming in my number 1 spot is MP59 Rhinox. So yeah, this shouldn't be too much of a surprise. I'm a big Beast Wars fan. Rhinox was one of my favorite characters in the show, and it's great to finally have a masterpiece representation of him. This figure is just so expressive, so well detailed. The transformation is fun. Yeah, the shins, the order of operations can be a little rough the first few times you do it, but after you get it down, it's really not bad. This guy cleans up so nice. He's got a bit of a backpack, but it is mostly accurate to what was on the show. I love the fact that you can get all of these pieces on the skirt out of the way. He's very posable. The articulated jaw makes him super expressive. The accessories are mindful but good and fun. We finally on a Rhinox get really proper chain guns of doom that can spin. I love the spark accessory that he comes with, the device. He comes with alternate faces. He comes with an adapter piece so that Primal can ride on him. Just really well done. Even the Rhino mode is super well done, and it doesn't look out of place. It doesn't have too much peeking through from a bot mode kibble. I really like this figure. The only flaws I have, other than, you know, the transformation of the shins, would be probably the fact that the eyes kind of appeared dead. They went for a light piped option. I don't think that that was the best option to go with. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could pop the faceplate off and put some vinyl or use a Gundam marker. I'll probably go with the vinyl route myself. But other than that one little flaw with the eyes, I think he is basically, in my opinion, a perfect figure, and that's why he's earning the #1 spot in my best of official Transformers for 2024. Moving over to the best third-party figures of 2024 in my collection, we're going to start off with the honorable mentions / bottom 5 of the top 10, kicking things off with the TFCon Toronto exclusive Shift Lane, and this is their take on a Masterpiece scale roll bar from Robots in Disguise. He's a bit more toyetic. He looks more like the G1 toy, but that's accurate to how he was in the show, and you know, pretty accurate to how the toy was. Most of those show models were very toy accurate, and I love the colors on this guy. I love how clean he is. It's a really fun transformation. Again, it's just a retool, repaint of their existing Swindle figure, but I always really like that figure. It's just a really well done, fun figure, great articulation, fun transformation, and I cannot wait to get this guy combined up. They had the full Ruination on display at TFCon Baltimore, and it just looks so good, and I know it's going to look amazing next to the HasLab Omega Prime. Moving up to the #9 spot, we've got the TFCon Baltimore exclusive Swift Lane, and this is their take on a Robots in Disguise Rotor, albeit in Masterpiece scale, and basically everything I said about Shift Lane applies here. Just love the colors on this guy, love the sculpting, love the fact that they fixed the neck. Vortexes popped off really easily, and again, just really can't wait to get the rest of this team combined and displayed. We also have another TFCon Toronto exclusive, the Fans Hobby Clutch. Now, this is their take on a G2 or European Clench. I never had that original figure, but man, do I love the sculpt and the colors on this guy. I love the fact that they gave him a proper cab that turns into a little weapon station where you can mount his blaster. It all looks really good. It's a really good reuse of the Armada Prime mold, their naval commander. It's so much fun to transform, and it's got such a presence on the shelf. It looks great on my G2 shelf. My only regret is I never got their pyro. Would love to get that if the opportunity ever comes up. In my in my #7 spot, we've got the Lucky Cat Chibi Optimus Prime. I can't remember this guy's actual name. I don't own very many Chibi figures. I have a Chibi Voltron. This I got in a trade with my buddy Partsformer, and I was really surprised how much I liked this figure. This is a really fun transformation. He's got lights. I don't have it on hand, but he's got his regular blaster that's got a magnet in it that unlocks the light in the eyes and the arm cannon. Just a really, really fun little figure. I love flipping him back and forth. He lives in my office, and I've enjoyed this figure way more than I expected to. And lastly, in the #6 spot, we have the TFCon Baltimore exclusive Obsidian Commander, which is Fans Hobby's take on an Energon Grand Scourge. And I don't think Grand Scourge was ever like formally released in Energon. I know there was like a kit, like a little model kit of him, but here we have a fully realized version of the character in Masterpiece scale. And I was a little skeptical of this guy at first, but when I saw him in person at TFCon Baltimore, I just knew I had to have him. The gold on him really pops. It's like, kind of like a white gold. There's so much contrast going on with this guy. He looks so much better in hand than he does in any photo or video, and just that Energy Commander mold is so much fun to transform and combine up. It's a very easy transformation. It's very fun. This is a versatile figure that looks great in any mode, in the alt mode, with the drones, the battle station. Just so much fun, and I just love it so much in this color scheme. I've been messing with this guy off and on since I picked him up at TFCon Baltimore, and really my only knock against him is he's just a repaint. Coming in at my number 5 spot is Unique Toys Red Dasher. This is their take on a movie masterpiece version of Dino or Mirage, depending on whatever you want to call him. But this is a really, really well done figure. He comes with all the accessories that he needs. He comes with his arm blades, which are removable. He comes with those like extendo hook things that he had in that one scene in the movie. And he's just a really, really well done figure. He cleans up super nice. He actually turns into a very, very accurate Ferrari. He articulates very well. The transformation's actually very easy, despite looking complicated and complex. Just a really, really well done figure. I think really the only point of contention is the colors. Which should he be darker? I know there is a knockoff version that corrects some of the colors, though I'm fine with it, given you really couldn't see much in the movie, given how little screen time the Autobots got and how everything was so blurry. But I think he looks phenomenal. I think he looks close enough to the renders, and he's such a fun and articulate and posable figure. Just had a lot of fun flipping him back and forth, and he was a very, very unexpected surprise in 2024. Also, can't beat the price. He comes in, I believe, in the $70 range, which is pretty damn good and way better than what we're paying in the movie masterpiece line these days. Coming in at my number 4 spot is X-Transbots Fast, or their take on a G1 run-amok. And yeah, this one was a big surprise, and it's just a really, really well-done figure. If X-Transbots could stick to this level of quality, I think they'd be a bigger name in the third-party scene. This figure's toleranced really well. It's got all the articulation you could want, and it's very posable with a straightforward articulation. Some people think that the feet are a little over-engineered. I don't think they're that bad. He cleans up super nice. He looks great in his car mode. Just really well done. The biggest pain point for this guy is that their runabout isn't very good. He's not toleranced well. He has some QC issues. For whatever reason, they left a big hole in his chest. But this guy is just so close to perfect. It would be a disservice to not put him on the top of 2024 list. X-Transbots and the offset chance you're listening, just take your time. Do more releases like this. I think you really could be one of the best contenders if you just took your time and focused on QC, because this guy shows how great X-Transbots really could be if they put in the work and took a little bit more time. In my number 3 spot, we've got MMC's Incertus, their take on a G1 Protectobot Groove, and this is just such a great figure. I love the paint that they used on him. This gold and silver, the metallic gold and silver really pop and are a nice contrast in person to the stark white plastic that they used. I love the transparent orange highlights. I love the fact they picked out all the dials on the gauges, the buttons on the handlebars. I love that they used this matte gold for the face that contrasts so nicely with the metallic silver for the visor. It comes with alternate faces. I love the fact that the articulation is there. If you don't want the neck sitting up so high, you can collapse it. It makes it less tune accurate, but it's a look for those that want it. The articulation on this guy is fantastic. You've got double jointed arms, elbows. You have a really, really deep ab crunch. The transformation on this guy is so much fun, and the bike mode is great. If you have any 5 or 6 inch figures, you can get them posed on the bike, and it's one of those alt modes that doesn't look like it should transform. Just really, really, really well done. Awesome figure. I can't wait for Blades to come out. I believe he should be out this month, but I'm looking forward to having the Protectobots complete, because all of them have been amazing so far from MMC, and this guy is no exception. Coming in at my number 2 spot is the Magic Square Heavy Gunner, their take on a Masterpiece scale brawl, and this figure was quite a surprise. I can't express how awesome this figure is. Upon first seeing him, a lot of people thought that he was just an upscaled version of their Legend scale brawl, and he's not. He is his own thing, but he's a very, very tune-accurate figure, a very simple transformation. He's got all of the articulation you'd want. Whether they painted or finished this plastic. It looks so good. I mean, this looks like a Takara Tomy product. This looks like it should be official. All of the articulation you could want is there. I love the fact they did that MP44 style hip skirt where it just retracts into the pelvis as you move the leg. You have butterfly joints. You have double jointed, well, single jointed, but over 90-degree elbows. I love the way they did the hands. I love the fact that you have the ab crunch built in. You get that really deep ab crunch. I love the fact that you can use the turret as its own gun, and he comes with the combiner parts, and he's under $100. This is just such a great value, and I'm going to be getting the rest of these Magic Square figures to replace my Zeta Bruticus because I just like these and their aesthetics so much. If you haven't picked these guys up yet, highly recommend them. The Swindle may not have made it onto my top of 2024 list, but it's also a very, very good figure. Also here too, he has wheels for the alt mode. So if you're one of those people that gets upset when a tank tread figure can't roll, he certainly can. A fun transformation. You get everything you need. Highly recommended. He's my number 2 of 2024. And my number 1 third-party figure of 2024 is MMC's Ignis, their take on a masterpiece scale G1 Protectobot Hotspot. And man, oh man, is this an awesome figure. So this guy looks like he's a big brick, and he is, but he cleans up so nice, and he is such a fun transformation. He has such shelf presence. He has all the articulation you could want. He's big, he's hefty, and he is so much fun. Like, this figure is everything I love about third party done right. You have a big ratcheted ab crunch. You can get this guy in so many dynamic poses despite how big and bulky he is, and you can hear those ratchets. Now, again, I think MMC combiners are a little small for my tastes, but because this guy is the combiner core and he's part of an all-in combiner team, he's just built so sturdy. I've got him, I was trying to balance him on a tippy toe there. I got to engage the ankle tilt a little bit more here to get him. There we go. But you can get him into poses. He's very well balanced. He's just very awesome, very imposing. The fire truck mode is so well done. I just love this figure to death. He's one of those figures throughout the year I've taken off my shelf just to flip back and forth. And he is so sturdy and durable. I wish all third-party figures were built like this, because this is one of those ones that you can take down, you can mess with. You don't have to worry about any paint rub or chipping or flaking or anything breaking. He is just built solid. He's got presence. He's got the fun factor. He's what you want a mature collectible Transformer to be. And that's why he's my number 1. Even if you're not a Protectobots fan, even if you don't plan on completing a team, I think this guy is absolutely a must-buy. I don't think you can go wrong picking him up. He is just such an amazing figure, and that's why he's my favorite third-party figure of 2024. So that concludes my personal list for the best figures of 2024. Before we get out of here, I want to know, what were your favorite figures of 2024? What did you pick up that's worth mentioning? Let me know down in the comments below. Was there anything on my list that you agreed with, disagreed with, maybe something that I covered that now you want to check out, or maybe something you think that I missed out on? Let me know down in the comments below. Before we get out of here, make sure if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button if you like what we're doing here. Hit that notification bell so you can stay in the loop when I upload new content on the channel, and give the video a thumbs up if you think I deserve it, because it helps me out in the algorithm. So I want to thank you all for watching, and until next time, Zero out. We'll see you on the next one.